Potion Permit is here and you probably clicked on this video because you want to know if it's the game that you're expecting it to be. Hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. Stick around till the end because I'm gonna tell you exactly who Potion Permit is for. Is it for you? We're gonna find out. Starting with the presentation, Potion Permit is an indie adventure RPG where you play as a chemist who makes their way to Moonbury, but is struggling to prove themselves to townsfolk because previous chemists got themselves into some trouble. As you can see, the game's graphics are pixelated yet have enough detail to create an immersive world, and this art style always takes me back to the days when I used to play the 3DS during my teenage and childhood years. Of course, animations are nothing too outstanding. The game prefers to focus on its gameplay rather than giving you the best animations in the gaming industry, and I'm totally fine with that. Adding to the presentation, we don't have voice acting, so the townsfolk will use dialogue that you can read, and your character responds back through a bubble above their head, as you can see, with an emoji that expresses how they're feeling and what they're trying to say. Additionally, you'll enjoy relaxing music, but it does tend to get repetitive at some point, so you might find yourself, like me, turning it down eventually. But you still have well-crafted sound effects to designate your footsteps, background noises, brewing potions, using your tools, and much more, so it kind of makes up for it. And if you know me by now, then you know that I appreciate a handsome and good-looking inventory and menu system. Luckily for us, Potion Permit delivers on that by taking the rustic feel that the game has overall and applying it there, as well as making the inventory look beautiful but also easy to navigate. If you're wondering about the map, you definitely have one, as well as a mini-map, and in case you lose an NPC, you can ask your dog to help you find them, because working on your friendships with them is one of the top priorities, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You can also unlock fast travel banners to go from place to place, which makes things very easy, and luckily the loading screens are very quick. Before we get to the bread and butter, which is the gameplay, I'll let you know one last thing. You can customize your character and choose between a male or a female, but NPCs still use the pronoun there, so it's okay for me, but I let you know because I know some of you don't like that. Oh, and you can also name your dog, and of course I named mine Teddy. Like, what's new? Now, to give you an overall look into the gameplay, we're going to talk about your clinic, gathering resources, combat, and the most important thing, friendships. The moment you arrive to the town, you quickly learn about your need to prove yourself to the townsfolk, and you can definitely see as you're playing more and more that they will shift in the way they approach you. You'll have main quests and side quests, and the first one is to start using your tools to harvest resources in order to brew a potion and cure your first patient, which happens to be the mayor's daughter, so it's a big one for you. Eventually, you'll open up your own clinic where you can diagnose and treat patients, so every day when you wake up, if you have a patient waiting for you, the alarm will set off, making it easy for you to know. Once you talk to them, they'll let you know what's hurting them, and you'll go into different mini games that are chosen randomly. Both require you to follow a D-pad sequence, so you might need a little bit of memorization as well as fast reflexes, because if you don't do well in these, the satisfaction of your patients will drop, and that means that your reputation is gonna go into the garbage, and you don't want to do that. You also have to be aware that patients have a number of days in which they'll wait for you to cure them, so you better take care of them as fast as you can. As I said, the mini games can be a little bit difficult, so if you get stressed out or you have anxiety or you have some reflex issues, it might be a little bit difficult for you. But to me, I found out when I say them out loud, like let's say we're doing the memorization one, I'll say like out loud what I see. I'm like up, right, left, and then when I go to the D-pad, I'm like up, right, left, so it makes it easier. So there's a trick for you. I hope it helps you out. Now, after you finish the mini game, you'll get a proper diagnosis. You have to brew a potion, and thankfully you have a cauldron, which takes you into a puzzle panel, which is a little bit similar to Atelier games, where different resources have different shapes, and you need to match the empty shape provided, and you'll find yourself getting more complex ones, which require even more ingredients to complete. So it kind of also feels like Tetris in a way. That's why I recommend recommend that you always make sure you use all of your stamina before going to bed to collect different resources so you're always ready. You also need to know that resources are related to different elements, so some potions might not use fire at all, so you need to find something else that has the same shape but is not in the fire element. The good thing is that the game makes collecting very easy, so once you collect a resource from the map, it will be marked for you, so it's easier to find the next time. Speaking of getting resources, you have different locations that you can go to, and as you progress your story and your main quests, you unlock new areas, which in turn gives you access to even more unique resources because, as I said, the potions will become more and more complex as time goes by. But keep in mind, with that, you have fiercer animals to fight. And with that, I recommend that you're always upgrading your tools at the blacksmith, and you can also upgrade your health as well as your clinic, so make sure that you keep an eye on those. Now, similar to other games, using your tools requires stamina, and if you use too much stamina or HP, you will die and go back to your house, but I can happily tell you that you don't lose any of your resources, but you will wake up at 12 p.m. the next day. In case you want to regenerate your stamina so you avoid having to go through that, you can eat one of your cooked meals or many if you want to, or simply go to sleep a little bit earlier. And if that does not sound like it's enough for you, you have plenty of things to do, and I'm gonna tell you about a few of them. You have different part-time jobs which also follow mini games that require fast reflexes, as well as taking care of your dog and making sure it's well fed so you can build a better relationship with them, meaning they'll be more loyal to you. Add to that, you have fishing, which I cannot figure out for the life of me till today. You can also cook and upgrade your clinic to get more money and patience. You can unlock a community board where you can take tasks, which resets every Monday, but again, you're making more money. And yes, you can pet your dog, so I think by now, you should definitely buy the game. I'm just joking. Moving to the most important factor apart from taking care of your patients is building friendships. You have a list of characters that you can either become friends with or you can romance them, and I recommend that you talk to them every single day. You can also build the friendship further by offering them moon cloves. These can be obtained by curing people as well as completing different main and side quests. I really recommend that you focus on these friendships because they will unlock different features in the game. Once the friendship bar reaches a maximum, you'll see that the notice board in the town square has a quest for you from this specific NPC. They might want to meet you somewhere, or maybe have a list of favors to complete, or they simply want to tell you a secret. But there's a range of time as well as a location to know where to find them, and some of the text can be misleading, so you might get lost and you might need to go to the Discord server for everybody to help you out, because I did that a lot. Now, the most frustrating thing about this is that you have a very strict timing and location, and sadly, you don't get to log this into your journal, so I just found myself taking either notes or taking pictures with my phone because I just had to keep running back and forth to the notice board, so you can take another trick from me over here. Finally, I recommend that you always go to different buildings and areas because you never know what new quest might get unlocked. And this is kind of where the trigger system shines, and for the first time ever, because trigger systems just frustrate me, these just feel very natural to do. So just go around, don't keep going to the same place, and you never know what story chapter you're gonna unlock next. So how about the performance on the Nintendo Switch? Let's talk about it. For the most part, the game runs pretty smoothly, but I had a couple of hiccups. The first one is something that you don't even have to worry about because the devs actually removed it. There was a very bad, horrible motion sickness inducing lag when the game rains. So now there's no more rain in the game. The second one is that my character many times just randomly decides to stop moving. So you're gonna see animations around you moving, but your character is just like, yeah, I'm done for the day. And the worst thing is that if this happens by the end of the day, the only thing you can do to fix this is leave the game, which means you're gonna restart everything that you did because you cannot save this game unless you go to bed. So yeah, that one did frustrate me because it happened about 6 or 7 times. But aside from that, everything is good. I hope the devs fix this because it's really annoying. So we talked about the good and the few hiccups that Potion Permit is going through, but is this game the one for you? As always, we're gonna go with this game is for you if, not for you if, and my verdict, which asks you to kindly squish that like button if you're enjoying this video because it helps out the channel a lot. Potion Permit is the game for you if you love cozy games where the shift has been moved to the NPCs and friendships that you can create. It's also for you if you'd love to try a new take on managing a clinic while also beating monsters and progressively getting better gear and upgrading your health. It's also definitely for you if you'd like to try out the different Tetris-like puzzles when brewing potions, playing mini games when diagnosing and doing part-time jobs, and just don't really care about farming, let's say, but would rather experience an open-ended sim RPG. But Potion Permit is not for you if you think this game is Stardew Valley or Story of Seasons. No, it's not that at all. It's also not for you if you usually hate the social aspect of games because improving friendships is a core mechanic to progressing your story. And also this game is not for you if you don't like the idea of the mini games that require fast reflexes. Sadly, you need those to partake in the simplest mechanic, which is diagnosing symptoms. As for my verdict, this is an easy must-buy for me. I have about 13 hours into the game and I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface, and even when I'm not a fan of trigger events, it was very easy to find them and very fun to actually discover them. Also, managing the clinic, getting stronger, fighting enemies, gathering resources, and learning about the various NPCs was extremely relaxing to me. I'm moving out from Lebanon tomorrow and this game came at the best time for me, so I can just relax, take a deep breath, and every second with this game, except for the lags and the crashes, were perfect. Let me know if Potion Permit is a hit or miss for you. You could have been doing anything, literally anything in the world, but you chose to spend your time with me. That is bubbly awesome. Thank you to my Bubbly Club for making this video possible. Without them, I could not be making content at all. And I'd love for you to join them and become a member as well. And by checking the links in the description box, you'll get plenty of perks and the feeling of being a bubbly bubble. And there's nothing that feels better than being a bubbly bubble. Like, I'm telling you, just try it and then you'll see. And it goes without saying, a special shout out to Savani, Josh, Justin, Benson, Mikey, and Pig for going the extra mile. As always, stay bubbly, stay positive, and I hope to see your gorgeous, beautiful, and wonderful face in the next one. Bye!